With the recent re-release of Classic Doom onto modern consoles, the dream of accessing the full Classic Doom mod scene is finally realised. Over 30 years of WODs, mods and total conversions are now available for everyone to play in the safety of their living room. And yes, this was possible in previous versions of Classic Doom on console, but only for a curated few WODs selected by id Software. Here the floodgates are well and truly open. I figured it would be a good idea to dive in and just show you what I've been downloading from the store. Let me know in the comments what you've been downloading, and I might do a follow-up video showcasing some of the hidden gems that are waiting to be discovered by console Doom players. The first mod I'm going to talk about here is the Ultimate Simpsons Doom. Already at the time of making this video, this mod has found its way to the top of the downloaded chart, and it's not hard to see why. It turns the Ultimate Doom into a more Simpsons orientated experience with characters and items from the TV show, and honestly it's a good laugh. I covered the Doom 2 variant of this mod a while back on my channel and it was a great laugh back then. It's one of the more well known mods that the Doom community has produced over the years, and it's great to see it gain some time in the sun here. If you want to download this, I do recommend doing it quickly because this may be one of the early casualties of copyright takedowns. The next mod I'm going to talk about is the GoldenEye Levels pack. This one changes the levels in Doom 2 to GoldenEye inspired levels. I covered this mod on my channel a while back, however when I did that I actually had the GoldenEye enemies put in, which unfortunately are not present in this version. Don't let that put you off though, there's a lot of fun to be had exploring all of these levels, there's a lot of care and detail put in, and players of the Nintendo 64 Classic will find a lot of joy seeing the Easter eggs and level layouts recreated here. There are some small graphical issues present in this version and you can see them in the video above, but don't let that put you off from giving this one a try. If you love the Nintendo 64 Classic game, there's no reason you can't download this and have a good time pretending to be James Bond. Up next is Final Fantasy Doom, and honestly I had a really great time exploring this one. It converts enemies into Final Fantasy monsters as well as offering up a bunch of new enemies and levels. It's clear that a lot of care and attention has gone into this one, and if you're looking for a way to freshen up your Doom experience, then you could do a lot worse than trying this one out. I'm not even that big a Final Fantasy fan, and even I found myself playing this one for at least an hour. It's just that good. Next up are two personal favourites of mine, Memento Mori 1 and 2. When these released back in 1996, they were hugely influential on a lot of other maps that came after them. They may be a bit long in the tooth now, but I do recommend going back and experiencing these two classic WODs. For me personally, these are two of my all-time favourite Doom experiences, and if you want to experience the kind of WODs I was playing as a kid to get me into Doom, then look no further than these two classics. One thing that does disappoint me about these classic Doom re-releases is that there's no representation for the 90s console versions of Doom. In particular, probably the best of those games, PSX Doom. There is a mod that tries to bridge the gap here and bring over the console Doom exclusive levels. If you've never had the chance to experience the console exclusive levels, then I'd argue this is probably the best and easiest way to do this. It's not the full-fat PS1 Doom experience, lacking the coloured lighting and background music that helped to make that version of Doom stand out so much. I do recommend giving this one a try, and hopefully at some stage someone will figure out how to get the full PS1 experience onto this service. The next mod doesn't really need an introduction from me. Eviternity is iconic and for all the right reasons. If you haven't played Eviternity yet, then this is a great chance for you to download it and experience it on console. It makes a number of changes to the Doom formula, but for the positive in my opinion. A faster pistol and changes to enemies that will make you smile. I always expected this WOD to be officially endorsed by id Software, but it seems that that's not really required anymore. It's here, it's working, and it's glorious to experience. There's also a few other cosmetic packs I've been playing around with, including this Doctor Who one, which changes all of the enemies and weapons to classic Doctor Who villains and weapons. Your mileage with this one will vary depending on how much you love classic Doctor Who, because it is very much aimed at that crowd. In the same vein, another one that I've been playing around with is Mario Doom. Much like the Doctor Who pack, your mileage will vary depending on how much you love Mario and how invested you are in shooting his enemies. Perdition's gate is a very important part of Doom history that often gets overlooked and forgotten about. It was originally supposed to form part of Final Doom, but circumstances worked against it. The game would eventually be released unofficially, and yeah, here it is. If you want to experience a big slice of what if in the Doom history books, then here is the WOD for you. It's definitely a good experience and a very solid map pack, even if some of the levels can be very frustrating. This mod doesn't really change anything in terms of gameplay, but it does change the music that you hear in the game. As the description here showcases, it does fix an issue with the original music selection in this version of the game. And of course, it wouldn't be a mod rundown if I didn't at least talk about nuts. Yes, you can play nuts on your console version of Doom now, and it's as silly as you'd imagine. Interestingly, when I played this on my Series S, which is what you're seeing here, the game lags quite a bit when all the monsters are woken up. Yet when I played on my Xbox Series X, it actually didn't cause that much lag. So if you want that lag-free nuts experience, play on a Series X or a PlayStation 5, I guess.